What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this we have This Is Why We Never Wanted to Leave Australia. I can't wait to hear the reasons behind not wanting to leave the land down under. Before we do though, if you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and let's get right into it.
What's going on, everyone? I'm Shane and this is my family. 4 months ago I quit my job, we sold all of our things, and we are currently traveling the world together. We recently
he worked for NASA. Hey, he was a top dog. He was a top dog.
We visited Australia, and today we want to share with you why we believe it's one of the best places on earth and why we didn't want to leave.
So upon arrival to Australia, our initial impressions were, this feels like home. So funny. Obviously, coming from a place like Bali, nothing felt familiar to us, and then we get to Australia and everything felt like we knew exactly what we were doing. The stores, the buildings, you know, the language, the people, the streets. That was our initial reaction, as we were like, okay, we should be good here. So the first place we were headed was the Gold Coast, and we heard nothing but, you know, it's a lot like Miami, it's a lot like South Beach. It was actually designed after those places. And
really?
When we got there, that was not our impression. Now we can see why people feel that way and why it may look like Miami, but it did not feel that way. Maybe we got lucky at a good time and hit it. It wasn't really busy, but our initial reaction to the Gold Coast was not Miami. It was much better. Beaches were awesome. The first beach we came to was in Kingscliff. We walked onto the beach as a family. There was nothing but big, wide open, clean beaches.
Dang.
Whales breaching.
Literally whales breaching in the
like
background. Crystal clear blue water. And I think as soon as we got there, we knew we were in the place we needed to be.
I was like, oh my goodness, there's not even a piece of trash on here. I can't even find a piece of sea glass. There's nothing. It's just pristine white sand. So Australia, whatever y'all are doing, keep on doing it.
Most of the world is not like that. So it's funny because if everybody's saying this is the South Beach, the Miami of Australia, which we don't really like Miami or South Beach back home. So we're thinking, oh my gosh, if this is like as bad as it gets, how good is this place gonna get?
For real. You know and it honestly did just keep getting better.
It really did. It took us about, what, an hour to figure out this place is special. This is a place for us.
It's actually really funny because we didn't really know that we wanted to go spend a lot of time in Australia. So we actually made this one of our shortest trips, and plus everybody was telling us how expensive it was and all these different things. So we're like, okay, well, we can't go a long time. We definitely want to check it out while we're on this side of the world.
We're right
but
here.
We don't think we can stay a long time. So we only booked 3.5 weeks or so, and
within 2 days we knew, or within a day we knew we screwed up.
We really did. He was like, can we like rearrange our plans? We had already had new flights and everything. He's like, what can we do? Like, we have to be able to stay here longer.
So some of our highlights from the Gold Coast started with our apartment.
That's so awesome, bro. Them coming to Australia sounds like they absolutely love the country. They have nothing but great things to say, to the point where it's like, dang, now we need to reconfigure our schedule because we need to stay here longer. This country right here, this is a place to be with them starting out on the Gold Coast. Absolutely beautiful beaches, pristine sand, no trash, clear water. Come on. What more can you ask for? Okay, keep it going, y'all.
We were literally looking across the street at Snapper Rock, a wave that I've dreamed about surfing my entire life. Dang. Yes, I know it's crowded, but it's still one of those things that you see that bank and those waves just coming down the bank. It's just something that every surfer dreams of. And then what else were we watching from the balcony?
Oh my gosh. Like, Dad's sitting on the couch and he goes, Allie, there's whales jumping out there right now. I was like, no way. I ran out. We're eating breakfast, sitting on our balcony, watching whales jumping.
Shooting videos of whales jumping.
Oh my
That's so
God.
cool.
That is so awesome.
I could have lived in that
swear
apartment for
that
the
is.
rest of my life.
And it had a park across the street for the kids.
Oh my God.
The tide pools. Oh, the kids love the tide pools.
Oh
and
my
at the
God.
lower tide, the water would rush out and it would rush back and bring this whole wave, and the kids get knocked down and just end
Ride
up
the
playing in
surfboard.
it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And obviously, Snapper Rock is special. I caught like not many, maybe 6 waves. It was crowded. The current, it was a south
Very
swell, so the
crowded,
current was
my
ripping.
days.
So I caught, like I said, I surfed for a total of maybe 2 hours, and I felt like I surfed for 6 hours. But it was really cool to get a few
Dang,
waves,
going
and it felt
crazy.
special, and I want to come back and get it on a dredging, barreling day.
And they got to surf Snapper.
Hey, he was going crazy on that wave. You feel it? I ain't never surfed, nor will I probably ever surf. But he was going crazy on that.
Yeah,
Rock.
so my kids get to say at 1 and 3 years old, they got to surf Snapper Rock. That's awesome. So the next day we went and checked out Fingerhead Lighthouse. The lighthouse was old. It wasn't big or spectacular, but it was still cool. And the views from the rocks were
That's gorgeous.
second to none. You got whales breaching all around,
That is
dolphins in the
literally
waves,
amazing.
people fishing off the rocks. Mom had the lens up. She was shooting whales all day. The kids were playing on the rocks. We had their monster trucks. It was such a good time.
That is
So
so
to finish
awesome.
up our second day, we headed over to Kira Beach, which once again, another legendary beach that I've heard of my whole life. I know the waves kind of changed a little bit, but I still wanted to see it. And we ended up running on the beach, having snowball fights.
Snowball, by snowball, he means sandball.
Sandball fights. Sorry. The sunsets were beautiful.
The most beautiful sunsets we've literally ever seen.
Yeah, there's a reason
Oh
why they
my
call it the Gold Coast,
days.
because I think it's because of the
That's
sunsets. And
gorgeous.
I'm probably wrong, but it doesn't matter. So we really only got 2 full days to spend in the Gold Coast. The third day we had to pack up and head to North Stradbroke, but we did book the latest ferry. That way we could spend some of the day there at Snapper Rock, because we did get to hang out there the day before, but we didn't really get to just enjoy it because I was surfing, and then once I got done we kind of left and went and did some other things. And that's when the kids got to surf with me. We got to enjoy a nice flat calm day with the kids. It was beautiful. There was mullet everywhere in the water, like this big. It was
Massive.
crazy.
And then we headed to the ferry, which was a experience in itself. I and the kids have never drove a car onto a boat before, so that was like wild.
You know, we heard so many good things about North Stradbroke from everybody. All the locals said, "Oh, you're gonna love North Stradbroke. You're gonna love it." And obviously, our friends kept telling us you're gonna love it. So our expectations were already pretty high for North Stradbroke. But I'll say this: they definitely met our expectations.
Yeah.
So when we first got to Stratty, it was dark.
That
So we
is
went
so
home,
awesome.
got some sleep,
Oh my God.
woke up the next morning, and the first thing we did was
Go on a kangaroo hunt. I literally didn't think it was possible.
They are living life to the fullest, and I'm kind of jealous. I'm a little bit envious. They seem like an awesome couple, and their kids are absolutely adorable. So I'm sure an amazing family, and they're getting to travel, and they're getting to do such amazing things, and that's literally so awesome. They're ripping the waves, visiting these beaches, getting these views from the lighthouse, seeing dolphins breach, seeing whales breach, seeing all of these incredible things, and then they go on a kangaroo hunt. Like, this is living. This is absolutely living.
Possible to see kangaroos in the wild like that, and there's like kangaroo crossing signs everywhere, and I'm like, babe, there's no way we're just gonna see kangaroos just hopping around in the wild.
by the time we left, they were like seeing squirrels back in Florida.
Literally within 1 hour of like just driving around, like Shane was kind of joking with me like, oh, there's a kangaroo, and then I'd look and then there wasn't one. But we got to, what beach was that?
Cylinders.
We get to Cylinders Beach, and we're driving the parking lot, and he goes, oh my god, there they are. And there was literally like a mama with a baby in the pouch and like 4 other ones just chilling right there. And we got out, they didn't even move, they weren't bothered by us at all. I was freaking out, I had tears in my eyes.
It's pretty cool. So later that day, our friends called us up and said, hey, you want to go for a little hike? We said, definitely. We want to check out everything. So we headed over to the North Gorge Walk, and that spot is a must-see for sure.
That is the most beautiful hike I have ever done.
Yeah, definitely go check that out. Then we ended our first day with our first Australian barbecue on the beach, and boy, was that nothing short of special. We had another amazing sunset, hanging with friends, cooking on the beach. These beaches are all beautiful. There's not a single one of them that you're like, I could do without.
Right. Our friends were super excited to introduce us to all their friends, and our kids were running around together, and
awesome.
Oh my gosh. And then they're like, oh, just wait till the bats come. And we're like,
yeah.
The bats?
The bats?
Like, what do you mean? We're thinking like a few bats were going to come out of the...
I wasn't even thinking a few. I was thinking they were bats. We have bats back home. They're this big, not fox bats.
Yeah,
We've seen fox bats, but...
Nah, them fox bats be Australia. They be human sized bats, bro. Them jokers be like they'll come and snatch your kid and fly away. They that big.
We've never seen them in the wild like that.
Millions
of them. They didn't stop coming for hours. It was wild.
Awesome.
So in the coming days, we started having highlights after highlights. Basically, we went straight into surfing, fishing, and pippies. And Australia is top notch for all three of those.
I got to watch Dad on some of the most epic waves I've seen him in. I know he was getting towed in, literally not a soul around. Like, it was literally just us up on the beach watching him only surfing in these huge barrels. And
You, your friends, and nobody else.
Literally.
20 kilometers of empty beach. I mean, there's a few people on it, but yeah, I was surfing with me and my buddy from home, and literally there was nobody around for miles. It was so cool.
And while he's surfing, Nelson, their oldest son, is like showing me the ropes of fishing. I caught a nice whiting,
Beautiful
which
whiting.
he filleted up and we had for lunch. It was the most delicious
Oh my God, we
fish.
have whiting back home. Nothing like their whiting.
Nothing.
And actually, we had some mackerel while we were there at their house one night, and back home we called it kingfish. And when I tell you, we don't like kingfish back home, and Allie was a little nervous eating the mackerel, we left there like mouth watering, like, holy cow, we need to get some more of that stuff.
I ate so much. Like, Krista's over there just
These fillets
grilling.
were...
Right. She's grilling. We're all like, Krista, like, you're making a lot of fish over there. Like, even Clayton was like, what are you doing? There was not a single piece left. Like, we smashed it.
It was amazing. And then the third of the trifecta is the pippies. They're literally everywhere. Thank God to the rules and regulations they put in, because we heard that they had times where they weren't so easy to find, but they were everywhere and they were delicious.
Oh my God.
The fish love them, and so do we.
When we cooked them and ate them for the first time, I was like, oh my God, because we love digging for clams and like we love eating clams. So like to have these, they were cleaner, they had less sand, they're easier to get, they were fun. Araya and Xander were digging them up.
The kids
like,
love it.
Oh
That's the best part about it, is that it's easy for the kids to do it. So you can entertain them doing something super simple, and you get rewarded with it as well. So
and it's like it's a treasure hunt. Like, sure. I love a treasure hunt.
Really cool. So I say one of our
oh my God. Hey, Australia, hold up. Y'all ain't need to put this in a tourism video, bro. They selling the country like nobody I ever seen you sell the country. Yeah, the way they talk about, God, who wouldn't want to go to Australia? Like, nah, it's genuinely like this. This is super dope, and I'm sold. I'm absolutely sold.
Favorite spots on North Stradbroke was Dead Man's Beach. You got the surf spot Widows, which is like a dredging little sandbar that can kind of turn into a point break on a good day. And you got the rocks on the beach, kind of creates tide pools. And there's actually a natural bathtub in one of the spots that was really cool.
The sand hills, oh my God, the sand hills were massive.
Which
and
is so cool.
We were all getting on Araya's little surfboard and like going down it so fast. Me, Xander, and Araya were all on it, just flying down this thing. It was so cool.
Yeah, the kids love the sand hill. Even some of the other kids were running and jumping and doing all this stuff. It's like a big entertainment ball, basically. They loved it. So for the last few days of our trip, we headed over to the mainland, over by Brisbane, and went and checked out the legendary Australian Zoo. You know, we couldn't go to Australia without checking that place out. It was, I mean, It was beautiful. It was had all the animals, everything you could ask for. I think seeing all the memorabilia of
R.I.P. to the absolute legend that is Steve Irwin, one of the greatest human beings to ever walk the planet Earth. Loved and missed by all.
Steve Irwin was the highlight for me. Seeing his kids at the show, the Crocaseum, that was definitely
emotional.
It was emotional, and I mean, I know the Australians love Steve Irwin, but I think the whole world loves Steve Irwin.
Yes.
So I know I grew up watching him.
I'm
pretty sure everybody grew up watching him.
Our kids are growing up watching him.
Yeah, Steve Irwin was staple in the household, even back in Florida, baby. So the day we had to fly to Thailand, we knew that we had a bunch of time to kill. Our flight wasn't until midnight. So we were like, you know what? We need to wear these kids out. Did a little research, found Mount Glorious, and headed over to Green Falls. And that place definitely didn't disappoint. It was like going from the Australian beaches to the mountains of North Carolina. Yeah. It was really cool.
It was beautiful. The forest when we were walking through, which that hike in was like nothing I've ever done before. The trees were the most the trees made us want to hug them. Like we were literally hugging trees, and like trees would fall down, and they were like making staircases out of them because they were so too big to move. Like there was no moving them, so they were either cutting a path through or making a stairwell. Oh my gosh, it was so.
That's so awesome.
It was, and the waterfall wasn't like rushing or the most powerful one or big or any of that stuff. It was just a beautiful waterfall. I'd say so. The combination of the two made for an awesome experience.
Yeah, and it definitely wore the kids out because they slept good on that flight to Thailand.
So we did have a few challenging moments when we were in Australia. Unfortunately, our little girl got her front tooth knocked out at a park. She was playing with some kids, and if you watch our videos, you saw she kind of got popped by one of the rides at the park, unfortunately.
The seesaw.
So that was challenging. That hurt our hearts. I mean, still to this day, but it really hurt us for a few days. We were down. We picked ourselves back up. We ended up going to the dentist. They made us feel better, especially because so many kids do it. And it was tough, but Araya got better.
She's only 3, so it is a baby tooth.
She got more comfortable with it, and the swelling went down. So everybody kind of, we were all jacked up, and then we kind of simmered back down and got back into the swing of things.
Yeah, that was definitely it's not even about really Australia, but that was the worst part of Australia. Like we didn't really face many challenges, which we did in Bali. If you watch our videos, like we were challenge after challenge after challenge because it was just so out of our comfort zone.
So to wrap this rant up about Australia, if you're into the outdoors, you're into the beaches, you're into surfing, fishing, hiking, the wildlife, if you're into that type of stuff, Australia is definitely an amazing place, and it's ranking at the top of our list so far.
For sure.
We haven't been everywhere on the planet, not even close. But for our short list, it's going to the top, baby.
I think that we're putting it back on our list because we ain't done with Australia yet.
Yeah, 3 weeks was definitely not enough. We need more time to come see that place.
There's so much we never got to see.
Even if we just checked out the whole East Coast, maybe a little of the West Coast, that'd be sweet.
While we're on this side of the world, we will be back to Australia.
We got to. We'll be back. Also, guys, we'd love to hear y'all's experiences with Australia. If you're locals, if you've just visited, we want to hear about it. Also, if you can send us any recommendations, that would be awesome. We want to check out as much as we can. And the more you send us, the more we'll go check out. We picked up a nice little following, we feel like, in Australia. We had a lot of Australians commenting on our videos, enjoying what we were doing. Yes, so that felt really awesome. Good to us and kind of gave us a motivation even more to want to come back. Thank you so much to you guys. If you guys would please like, comment, share, subscribe, that would mean the world to us. Like always, you.
That's so awesome, bro. I got to check out their Australia videos because they seem like such an awesome family. Like I want to check out their time in Australia, but they have nothing but great things to say about the land down under. That's all we have. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up. Check out the next one. I'll see you guys next time.